Hi YouTube, today I'm going to show you how I turn this reference into this painting, and I also show you how I use the knowledge of values, lighting and shapes to create this particular grayscale painting. So if that's what you're here for, do well to stick around. What's the first thing you see when you look at this reference? That's right, it's black and white and it's monochrome, so which is also referred to as value, and values ranges as a result of the presence of light, and these values can increase depending on the lighting condition. So our basic value range are shadows, midtones or bays, and the highlights. As their name imply, shadows are the darkest part of the photo, highlights is the brightest part of the photo, and then the midtone is the tone in between the brightest part and then the darkest part. And then these three combinations are what form our value range, our basic value range. So these values can vary based on colors as well, so the more the color change, the more the values change as well. So if you want to learn more on color theory and how I use values for shading, do well to check my previous videos. I've done 2 videos talking about values and color theory. Thank you. So let's talk about lighting and how lighting affects objects creating values. So for instance, if we have a ball and when light shines on it, it creates 3 basic value range, which are the highlights, base and the shadow. The shadow also has an extra variant, which is the cast shadow. This is present because of the blockage or the absence of light around that side of the ball. This particular scenario is subjective depending on the lighting condition and the environment. So we've already understood how lighting and values work. We need to understand how shapes work in relation to our reference. So for you to be able to understand this reference, you need to look at it as a 3D object. You need to look at it in a shape form. So if you look at this reference well, you understand that the head of this reference is categorized into 2 parts, which is the front plane and then the side plane. The front plane is the plane that has the less darker value, and then the side plane is having more highlights, more brighter value. So this side plane is where the direction of the light is coming from, and then the front plane is having less light. If you are able to start seeing objects and your reference in 3D, it's going to help you. It's going to definitely help you to be able to draw and shade, and also be able to replicate whatever kind of drawings or whatever kind of paintings you want. So understanding this 3D shape and how lighting works with 3D shapes is very essential. For instance, this face is categorized into different categories. We have the front planes and the side plane. I've done videos on how to analyze facial features and how to identify facial features on references. Just in case you're interested in that, do well to check it out. So the lighting condition of this reference is we have lights coming from the top, which is the sky, and we have lights still coming through the side. The light comes and bounces at the top and also bounces by the side, which gives us a very dynamic lighting. So simplifying your reference is very important. For instance, we look at this reference and we see that the face, the head in particular, is looks like a box, and the facial features, the area where the facial features are is the side plane, and then the front plane, and then the side plane is the area in which the head is located. So the front plane of the box is the place that has more shadows, and then the side plane of the box is having more highlights. So if you are able to visualize your objects, if you are able to visualize your reference like this, is very, very important, and it will help you to be able to shade appropriately. So you can also look at the cap. It looks like a triangle, a tilted triangle. The top part of the plane is the front plane, and then the part of the plane is the side plane, because the front part of the plane is where the brightest part, so we can just categorize it as the front plane. And then the side plane is the plane in which the shadows are more visible, so we can just categorize it as a 3D triangle with a front and the side plane. And then the hair and the ear can also be categorized as one big shape, because simplifying this thing is very important. And once you are able to simplify it like this, thinking about the technique you need to use to draw, whether it's Loomis method or Rayleigh method, will definitely not be your problem, since you already have that 3D mindset and you are able to visualize your reference in a 3D form. The rest is simple. You just need to be able to get the right proportion and to be able to carve those facial features on this particular shape, which is very easy to do when you practice consistently. So yeah, so I have brushes available on Gumroad, just in case you are a Procreate user. If you want brushes that would help you draw effectively, and then I have a hair brush pack that can help you draw braids and draw whatever kind of hair that you want. Do well to check it out. If we check the painting I did, I started off with my base color, and then I started layering my shadows and all that. The reason why I was able to layer these shadows perfectly like this is because of the knowledge I have on um, values. So if you want to understand values, you just need to constantly practice, and then to be able to know how lighting works on references. So if you look at it perfectly, if you see that the arrangement of my layers, I start with the base color, and then the shadows, and then the highlights comes after, and then you can add the cast shadows as well. So, and then you put the highlights. So this reference has a dynamic type of lighting. The values of this reference are not just restricted to only 3 value range, because we have the cast shadow, and we have the cast shadows, and we have the shadow as well. So it has 2 variations of shadows, because of how darker some parts of the photos are, and how lighter and how less darker some parts of the photos are. So we have 2 variants of dark shades. So you just need to keep that in mind. So if you understand values, to be able to shade is going to be very easy for you to do. So if you've learned 1 or 2, do well to let me know in the comment section, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace.